Should we always tell the truth? Yes. This week's video is going to be just a little bit different and a little bit longer. Bear with me. Should we always tell the truth? Yes, but I'm going to explain what I mean in just a bit. First, some quotes. First quote comes from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Telling the truth is not solely a matter of moral character, it is also a matter of correct appreciation of the real situations and of the serious reflection upon them. In other words, the true things we say and how we say them have significant consequences. Concerning how we speak the truth, Professor Oden said in his lecture, discerning what needs to be said as well as how it needs to be said. Now, let's pause for a moment from some awesome quotes. What is the standard for truth-telling? Love, seeking the highest good of another, doing whatever it takes for as long as it takes to bring about a redemptive outcome. Or as Paul says in Ephesians chapter 4, truth speaking should be measured by whether or not it will cause growth in another. Back to quotes. Calhoun says, truth alone has staying power. Professor Oden said in his lecture that truth orients a person from danger and orients them toward possibility. Along those same lines, Christine Pohl says, we do not care enough about individuals, the community, the truth, or our own integrity to take on the challenges of being truthful. I'm done. All right, so here's my definition of dishonesty. Dishonesty is intentionally saying something you know to be untrue or intentionally not saying something you know to be true and needs to be said. Truth-telling cannot have self-interest as its motivation. Truth-telling must have the good of others as its motivation. So how do I know what to say, how much to say, how to say it? Well, we can answer that question with a question. What will bring about a redemptive, strengthening outcome in this person's life in this situation? Robert Banks says that the goal of the whole community is maturity or growth. Here's the thing about truth. I may not tell you every true thing, but everything I tell you is true. Let's hear that again. I may not tell you every true thing, but everything I tell you is true. As a result of our reading this week, here are my thoughts on how to measure the amount of truth to share and how to share it. I really like alliteration, so bear with me. Revelation, relationship, relevance, receptivity. Revelation. What does this person already know and is thus accountable to? Relationship. How deep is my relationship with this particular person or group? Relevance. What truth is relevant to their season of growth in the Lord and their specific situation? And this last one is important. How receptive is this person to receive truth and apply it? We know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and yet he didn't share every single true thing with every single person he met, but everything he shared with every person was true. Look at the difference between the way Jesus talks to Nicodemus in John chapter 3 and the Samaritan woman in John chapter 4. Everything he said to both of them was true. However, he did not say the exact same thing. He spoke what was true and what was relevant revelation for their situation. Nicodemus, Jesus is like, you're a teacher in Israel and you don't know these things? With the woman at the well, Jesus is like, yeah, the place to worship right now is Mount Zion, not Mount Gerizim. But soon, the place to worship will be you in every place in spirit and truth. So again, dishonesty is intentionally saying something you know to be untrue or intentionally withholding something you know to be true and needs to be said. What's going to help this person? What's going to seek their highest good? What's going to bring about the most redemptive outcome? The book of Matthew says that once Jesus could see that the multitudes were no longer receiving what he said, he started talking in parables. From blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Pretty clear. Then he starts talking about some farmer taking seed and throwing it on a pathway, and then birds are eating, and then other seeds coming up and the sun is killing it, and then you got weeds choking out, and then you got good ground where you got a 30 or 60 or 100-fold return. His disciples are like, what just happened? And Jesus says that the multitudes are fulfilling the prophecies of Isaiah. They're no longer receptive. Who gets the explanation of the parable? The disciples who come and ask for more. I could go on and on and on and on and on. This video is already too long. I am naturally a truth speaker. Very black and white, very binary. What's true, what's false. If it's true, I tell it to you. That's not the way the Godhead relates to people. God doesn't tell us every true thing about every person in every situation. He doesn't tell us every true thing about ourselves. That would be scary. I would probably just quit because I have so much to grow in. He tells us what we need to know now to cause the most growth. Jesus said the result of knowing truth is it should set you at liberty. There's so much more I want to say, but I'll shut up. I love this week of readings, and I look forward to learning more.